Well, I play Cooper. Cooper is a firefighter by trade, and he's got a lot going on outside of his domestic obligations and his, his role in society. Uh, he's a father, and he is and loves his daughter very much. And I think that he finds himself in a pretty tricky situation in this film, as the title suggests. He finds himself in a trap, so he's got to find his way out. And it's very, very dark, and so my whole process was trying to find the buoyancy and the lightness within that. Understand what this character could be going through. Try to get into his head and feel this all from his perspective, and give him the benefit of the doubt, even though he's someone who's kind of irredeemable. He is irredeemable, but for me, I can't look at him that way. So I've got to ultimately get to know him and get to like him in some respects. Salika is she's an extraordinarily talented human being who has made, I think, she's probably had the most to do on this film. Maybe, I'm not gonna say, maybe more than Night. Like she's had to write an album. She's had to learn all the choreography for a stage performance. So basically she's had to go on tour. Learn everything that she needed to do to go on tour. She also had to create a character. And none of this is from her perspective. And what she's also doing with the music is that she is soundtracking my character's kind of interactions and the way he's understanding what's happening to him. All the songs, which are amazing in their own right, have to do with what my character is going through in the film. He's one of the true original filmmakers of our time, and the fact that he can continually put out films that have this sort of these excellent concepts with terrific performances, and he gets audiences in to see them. It's an enormous achievement. There aren't many people that can do that. Very, very few. And he's got a singular perspective. There's nobody like Night, and you got to respect that. It's an enormous achievement to be able to kind of create a signature style within this industry, and yet he's always exploring something that's unique to him. And they're always, you can see over the course of his whole career the arc of who he is and what he's aiming toward. They hired somebody to create an actual concert, to do all the lighting, to do all the videography, to make it appear, even if it's in the background, like an actual massive concert is going on in this huge stadium. And it does. They did it. They pulled it off. And to have that constantly being, live playing in the background while you're doing these scenes is a crazy thing to do. But it has an enormous effect because everybody in the audience is there for it. All the people around us knew the lyrics to the songs, were singing along to it. It feels like a real event. The only way that it can work is if we have the audience interested in this character, sort of loving this character, even though they know that there's something very, very dark happening underneath. Night has had such an interesting trajectory in his career, and in his current mode of owning his own films, doing everything himself, I think he's blossoming into one of the great auteurs of our time. For a movie that's about a serial killer, I don't think you could have more fun making a film than we've had making this film.